Breaking news, the Rams trying to reload with Bobby Wagner agreeing to a 5-year, $50 million deal. So the Rams let one Super Bowl MVP walk, Von Miller. They get another Super Bowl MVP, Bobby Wagner, at the middle linebacker position. Here are some of the notable moves the Rams have made. They also signed wide receiver Allen Robinson. Matthew Stafford was re-up for more money, but they did lose Von Miller and wide receiver Robert Woods, who they traded away. Also, Andrew Whitworth retired. Let's bring in Pete Prisco, who's looking more like Bruce Arians each and every day without shaving. Pete, you look good and scruffy. Let's start with Bobby Wagner and his worth here to the Rams. He's a big name, but he's 32 years old, getting a little long in the tooth. Big name. Is it a big deal for the Rams?
Well, I think we got to wait to see what the contract is, though, Chris. I don't think this is a true, deal that'll pay him that much money. And when you look at it, it's probably a lot of funny money in it. It'll probably end up being a 1 or 2 year deal. And is he the same player? No, absolutely not. Bobby Wagner is arguably a Hall of Fame player. I mean, some people will say he isn't. I think he's probably leaning in a direction that he will be. He hasn't been that for a couple years. I didn't think he played that well last year. I thought he missed more tackles last year than he has. He wasn't as good rushing the quarterback as he's been, and he wasn't as great in coverage as he's been. The speed is what made Bobby Wagner a great player, and we all know you don't get faster as you get older. So this might be one of those classic examples of name more than game, because he's still a solid player. He's just not Bobby Wagner anymore.
31 years old right now, but turns 32 on June the 27th this summer. The Rams are still one of the favorites to do it again in the Super Bowl. They are not the favorite, not even the favorite in the NFC. That would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where would you stack up the Rams right now as you see them at 12-1 with the 5th best odds to win it all?
Well, I think, you look at the NFC, and I think on the surface it's a 3-team conference. I think it's the Bucs from the South. I think it's the Packers from the North, and then probably the Rams from the West. Until San Francisco figures out what they're going to do at quarterback, I think that keeps them in a little bit of flux. We don't know about Dallas and what they can do to, rebuild that team a little bit after suffering some hits. And will a team emerge? Is there a team that can emerge? But I think on the surface right now, it's a 3-team conference, and I think the Rams are, look, they're going to go for it again. And in talking to Les Snead, one of the things he said is, look, we might be ahead of the curve, but this is where the league was going. Teams trying to get these big money guys, the high price guys, and then you have to supplement around them. And the key to that is being able to draft well in the later rounds. And so far, the Rams have been able to do that, because if you're very top heavy, it's going to be a real problem if you don't draft very well. But Les Snead has drafted very well, which is why he's able to, fill the roster with some good players behind the big money guys.
All right, speaking of rebuilds, where do the Seahawks go from here? I mean, we didn't expect him to return to Seattle, but Russell Wilson gone, now Bobby Wagner gone. Is there anybody left from those great teams?
Yeah, Pete Carroll. I mean, and he's going to get back to playing his style of football. The problem is they don't have the players to do it. We know what Pete Carroll wants to do. He wants to run the ball, and he wants to play great defense. They don't have a great defense, and their offensive line hasn't been good enough in recent years. Now they don't have Russell Wilson to bail them out. They have major problems. I still think they're going to investigate Baker Mayfield, and they should. I don't know what they would give up for him. If not, then they will have to draft a quarterback. I can't imagine they're going to play with Drew Lock for any extended period of time, maybe to open the season if they do draft a quarterback. But until you fix that position, which again goes back to what I said when Russell Wilson was traded, you don't trade 33-year-old quarterbacks in their prime, particularly when you're a 70-year-old head coach like Pete Carroll. I wouldn't have done it. I think they're in classic rebuild mode, and it's going to be a long turnaround for that team.
I've never seen you with the whiskers, Pete. You electric razor guy or straight edge?
Oh, no. I'm a straight edge guy. I mean, I had some things I had to do this morning, and so I didn't get up and shave. And, who knew that something was going to happen in the National Football League? Oh, I should have known better, because it happens every single day, right?
And last night it was Bruce Arians moving to the front office, and Todd Bowles taking over in Tampa. Today it's Bobby Wagner going to the defending champion LA Rams.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.